Now, before we officially get started here, it's really important that I have your full attention. We're going to be going over some critical information that will make you a lot of money in the days and weeks to come. So do me a favor right now and make sure you're in a quiet room free of distractions. Turn off your cell phones, close all your extra windows on your computer, and yes, I am talking about Facebook. Wait until after the webinar is over to tell all of your direct sales friends just how awesome it is. I don't want you to miss anything. Trust me, you're going to thank me later. And also make sure that you take notes as we go along so that you can implement these strategies in your own business. You're going to want to take out your fundraising tips worksheet that you should have been able to download. No worries if you didn't get your copy, just stick with me till the end and I'm going to email you another one after the webinar is complete. But if you do have it, take it out right now and we're going to be going over it in a little while. And you're really going to want to stick around until the end of the webinar because I'm going to be giving away a very special prize that you're going to want to get in on. It's a set of postcard templates that you can use to grow your fundraising business. And I don't even sell it on my site, so this is the only way you can get it. And I'm going to tell you about how that will work a little later. Now, there are two very important things that you should know before we get started. And if you've been to one of my other webinars before or have seen any of my videos, you know that I like to go over this frequently because I'm just so passionate about it. And I feel like this is absolutely critical for you to know. First, I want you to know that I believe in you. The direct sales industry is filled with fantastic companies that will allow anyone with the desire to build a business and change their life the opportunity to do so. And so many people have. With direct sales, moms are able to stay home with their children. Those running the corporate rat race are able to retire their running shoes. And many top performers are able to bring their spouses home from work as well. Yet for every wild success story, there are dozens and dozens that do not achieve greatness. And why is that? Well, one of the biggest reasons is doubt. Most of us have someone in our lives that thinks that our business dreams are little more than a hobby, or that they're unrealistic or delusional or just plain silly. And when these opinions come from those we love and trust most in our lives, it can be difficult to push through the negativity and continue to see our business in the positive light that is needed for success. And sometimes it's hard to find others who understand, who are with you and know that you are right on the edge of fabulous success. You just need a little more time, training, and a few more resources to get you there. Well, I understand, and I believe in you. You are here right now, making a positive effort in growing your business by learning new skills and new perspectives, and I know you can do it. I did. The second thing you need to know is that my goal in life is your success. Zig Ziglar is famous for the quote, "You can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want." And that is my personal mantra. My goal is for you to be as successful as you possibly can be in your business. I want you to set high goals and reach every single one of them. I want to help change your life for the better, and I want to empower you to change the lives of others. I want you to succeed. Now, I know that was a little heavy there, but it's important to me to let you know where I'm coming from in my business and my life and why I'm committed to education and training. So let's get started. So who am I? I'm Raven Perkins, a direct sales trainer from Florida. I'm a single mom of 2 teens, and I'm still active in direct sales, though I did switch from the company I had originally started with. I've been involved in direct sales and network marketing since the year 2000, when my mom said she wanted to throw a Tupperware party. Any Tupperware reps in the house tonight? I don't sell it anymore, but I will always love it. My cat even eats out of Tupperware bowls. Okay, yes, wonderful. So my mom said she wanted to throw a Tupperware party, but she didn't know any consultants. I had a newborn baby and needed some extra cash, so I called up Tupperware to join. I really had no plan and no clue what I was doing. I lived in a town of 600 people, and yet for my very first month, I was being recognized at the state level for my growth and overall sales. I hit the ground running. And when I ran into obstacles, like trying to put together a fundraiser with no upline support or not knowing what incentives to offer fundraising participants, I developed systems that handled my issues. And I've gone on to teach thousands these systems. In fact, this is what some people have to say about my training. In my 2 years coaching with Raven, I have grown so much. She is always encouraging and keeping things fresh. The training that she has provided to me continues to assist in my success for my business. Since working with her, my team has grown to over 250 people. That's from Marissa. Here's another. I just want to say a great, big, huge thank you. I learned a better way to work with my business on social media thanks to Raven and signed up a new affiliate for my business. You rock. I plan to rethink my entire way of working my business. And there are more. Now, I really don't like to toot my own horn, but it's important to me that you understand that my systems work for everyone, no matter what company you're in. And we're going to be going through some of my favorite fundraising building techniques here today. In fact, this call today has the ability to completely change the way you run your business too. Today, we're going to be going over the top 5 critical ways for you to master direct sales fundraisers. I will be showing you the absolute best organizations to work with in your direct sales business with super eager participants excited about selling your product. And I'll be showing you how to maximize your profitability by choosing when to sell. I'll go through how you can actually create residual income with the fundraising portion of your business. In fact, when you learn this one simple technique, you'll wonder why you never thought of it before. We'll also go over, and this is really important, who you need to contact to get your fundraiser off the ground. And finally, I'll be showing you how to quadruple or more your income just by thinking outside the box when it comes to fundraising. And when you combine these 5 tips, who to work with, when to sell, creating residual income, who to contact, and how to increase your income, what do you think that will do for your overall business? Go ahead and type into the box. What do you think that can do to your business? Could it double or triple your income? Yes, right? Now, this may all sound like a lofty promise, but stick with me and your mind will be totally blown. Now, you may have heard me mention that many direct sales consultants have left home parties behind to concentrate exclusively on fundraisers. But why? I mean, is there some secret they know that most of us don't? Well, as it turns out, yes. Now, before I tell you this secret, I do want to stress to you that I am in no way advocating stopping home parties. Home parties are the backbone of your business and are the absolute best method of growing your team and your business. But I do believe that fundraisers have a purpose in your overall business mix. Okay, back to the secret. Let's compare the type of income you can get from working a fundraiser. So let's say that your commission is 30%. Your typical party consists of 12 guests who spend $100 each. This takes you approximately 6 hours of your time between hostess coaching, invitations, the party itself, and product delivery. So your party sales would be $1,200 and your take home is $360 or $60 an hour. Now let's spend that same 6 hours on a fundraiser. Figure in the initial meeting with the organizer, delivery of the seller's packets, collection of the packets, processing the orders, receiving and delivering the product. It's probably comparable to one party as far as time goes, but not with money. Instead of 12 guests, you may have 100 participants, and perhaps each of them would sell, conservatively, $50 worth of product. That's $5,000 in sales. Now, you'd split the profit 50-50 with the organization, unless you work something else out. You know, it is your business. You can do what you want. And you'd take home $750 or $125 an hour, more than doubling your hourly rate. I don't know about you, but those are some pretty attractive numbers. And we're going to learn how to get there. But first, let me tell you a little story about how all this fundraising business came about. It's my story, actually. So when I was a junior in high school, I was a varsity cheerleader. Now, at the time, I only went to the auditions with 2 of my closest friends, kind of like a joke. But I made the varsity team, they didn't. So I ended up spending the season with a group of girls who were really nice, but they just weren't the type of personality that meshed well for me. Now, I remember at the time, I told myself that I was going to complete my one season as a varsity cheerleader simply so I could tell people when I grew up that I was a varsity cheerleader in high school. So it's worked out nice. Now, I'm not sure how much you know about cheerleading, but it's a real sport and it takes a lot of commitment and hard work. We practiced every single day for an hour after school, just like the boys' basketball team that we cheered for did. We had rather dangerous stunts that we did, and we worked our tails off. But here's the catch. Although the school paid 100% for everything that the boys on the basketball team needed, their uniforms, their travel expenses when we went to away games and competitions, even their meals and hotel stays on the trips, they paid for absolutely none of the cheerleaders' expenses. We had to buy our own uniforms and pom-poms and bloomers and shoes and our cheer clinics, and we had to pay for all of our travel expenses. Now, I remember one time we went out for dinner at a rather swanky restaurant that the boys picked out, and they ordered multiple appetizers and these huge entrees and sodas and desserts. And let me tell you, teenage male athletes can eat. And the only thing us cheerleaders ordered was mixed vegetables with a glass of tap water because that's all our cheer budget would allow. I remember thinking that the boys probably thought that we were watching our weight. The truth was we were starving. Now, you could call this sexist, but honestly, it's just the way things work in a small town America. The boys were state champions. They were in the middle of a decade-long title, winning first place at state in boys basketball 7 out of 10 years and second place the other 3. The boys were valuable to the school. They sold a lot of tickets to the games, and the school could afford to treat them well. And us cheerleaders? Well, we were seen as flashy accessories. So we paid our own way. Now, back at this time, and this was in the mid-90s, our annual contribution was around $500 for our expenses. We hit up local businesses for sponsorship. We worked concession stands for the other sports departments at their games. We only cheered for the boys' basketball, so we had the rest of the year to work concessions for girls' basketball and football, and that kind of thing. And we participated in the 50-50 raffle, where during the game we'd collect dollars from the spectators for a raffle ticket, and at the end of the game we'd draw one winner and we'd split the pot with them. But at the end of the day, we still had to fork over most of that $500 ourselves. All in all, it was a great experience, and though I chose not to participate in it my senior year, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. And I may have forgotten about our creative ways to raise cash altogether if history hadn't repeated itself a few years ago. My daughter had a friend named Ivy, who was one of those girls that had just had a really hard life. She was 5 years older than my daughter, but they were inseparable. She practically lived at our house. It wasn't ask Ivy if she'd like to come to dinner. It was let Ivy know it's time to eat. Ivy's mother had run out on her when she was a baby, and her grandparents raised her, but it was really her grandfather that was the parent. Grandma wasn't the most responsible person. And when her grandfather had a sudden, fatal heart attack when Ivy was 13, it was devastating. Her grandmother became an alcoholic. She'd walk around the neighborhood with a water bottle filled with straight vodka, and Ivy didn't really have many people to turn to. My heart went out to her, and I wanted to do whatever I could to make her life easier. Many times we'd buy her school clothes or supplies or let her crash at our house for days, sometimes a week or so when things got bad. And when she entered high school, lo and behold, she made the junior varsity cheerleading squad. And I was so proud of her. She was so excited about making the squad, and I was so glad to see her involved in organized sports at school. I felt that this would really be a good way for her to stay focused. But then came the bad news. The sports fees for the year were going to be around $650. And of course, Grandma didn't have it. So Ivy asked me to pay for it. And to be honest, at the time, I really didn't have it either. But I did have several cases of jerky from my direct sales company left over from when I stopped doing farmers markets. So I offered them to Ivy, and I told her she could keep 100% of the sales towards cheerleading. She was thrilled. She made a sign and set up a booth on the local road, and I kid you not, in less than a week, she had made her $650 for cheerleading. And when she told her teammates how she did it, I started getting calls from their moms asking how their daughters could earn money too. Soon the whole squad was doing a direct sales fundraiser, and many of the girls whose families didn't have the resources to participate in cheerleading were able to fund it this way. You know, we talk so much about what a fantastic opportunity direct sales is and how it can change our lives and our families' lives, but sometimes we overlook what good we can do for others with our businesses. Because of my direct sales business, Ivy and several of her friends were able to have an experience they otherwise would not have been able to afford. Our work is so important. So here is fundraising tip number 1. Instead of trying to do a fundraiser for an entire school, start with one sports department. Direct sellers make fundraising sound so simple, don't they? Just call up a school and do a fundraiser. So, new reps who are eager to get their business off the ground, they do it. They call a school, only to find out that the school's fundraisers are booked for the next year. So they give up. Well, I'm here to tell you, at least initially, you should not be looking at doing a fundraiser for an entire school. Those do take experience, and usually you have to have a prize plan in place. You know, all those tchotchkes like mini slinkies and bouncy balls that the kids all want from those slick prize brochures where they are trying their best to win that inflatable recliner for their room that all of us parents secretly hope that they fail at because it's ugly and it's going to take up too much space. Now, when you're ready for those big fundraisers, and you will be, I do have the resources for the prizes and the pre-prize brochures, but it is beyond the scope of our call today. Today, I just want you to focus on one sports department. And I recommend that sports department is cheerleaders, unless your local cheerleading squad already has a solution that works for them. This group of participants is highly motivated to sell so they can pay their fees. There would be no prizes for them to earn, just cash towards their participant fees that would go straight to the cheerleading squad itself. Does that make sense? Each individual cheerleader goes out and sells product. The organization's share of the fundraising profit goes directly towards each individual cheerleader's fees. So let's say it costs $500 to fund cheerleading for a season. And let's say that $5 from each product sold goes towards the organization. Well, if Susie sells 25 products, she gets a $125 credit towards her cheerleading fees. But if Angie sells 100 products, her fees are totally paid for. So it's on a participant by participant basis. Each participant is highly motivated to sell enough product to pay their fees. And their parents are even more highly motivated to sell so they don't have to reach into their wallets to cover it themselves. Which leads me to fundraising tip number 2. Organizations hold fundraisers multiple times throughout the year, with the main fundraisers being done in fall and in spring. Timing is critical when it comes to hosting fundraisers. So you must plan your method of attack. Fundraisers are not a source of instant gratification. Many, but not all organizations make their fundraising plans months in advance. So do not expect to call up an organization today and have the participants hitting the pavement selling product tomorrow. It's also quite common and even somewhat expected that when you contact organizations, you're going to be told that they already have their fundraising schedule full. But don't let that deter you. Remember, timing is everything. Instead, get info about when that particular organization does their fundraisers and when they usually make their decisions on what fundraising company to go with. And then, and this is super important, follow up. In fact, if you take away nothing else from this webinar and forget everything I'm teaching you about fundraisers, the single most valuable tip I can give you for your entire direct sales business is to follow up. If you don't, someone else will. Set a reminder in your calendar or on your phone or however you want to follow up with each organization you call at the time that works best for them. If they tell you to call them back in April, Make a note to call the first Monday in April. In fact, make a note to send them a postcard and product sample in March and then call in April. If they tell you they want to see how well the company they are currently with works for their upcoming fundraiser, ask when that fundraiser is over and call them back a week later. This will give you the chance to offer your products for their next try. The money is in the follow-up. And here are some interesting facts. On average, people need to hear a message or see a product between 6 and 8 times before they take action. If you are their initial contact or give up too early, you've paved the way for someone else to steal the show. It is a rare person who makes a decision the first time they are presented with information. In fact, if someone does make a decision to work with you the very first time you've talked with them, chances are it's because they were introduced to your product or the idea of fundraising by someone else, someone who failed to follow up. And that's why it's absolutely critical that you implement a solid follow-up system. So here's how it works out. 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. That's like half. 25% of salespeople will make a second contact but then stop. And only 12% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. But the truth is, 2% of sales are made on the first contact. 3 are made on the second. 5 are made on the third. 10 on the fourth. But 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. The 5th to 12th. So don't give up too soon. And let's move on to a third tip. If you complete one fundraiser with an organization, at the conclusion of that fundraiser, book the next one. Now, at first glance, this one might kind of seem like common sense. But just like those who fail to follow up, many representatives overlook this completely simple method of creating residual income. Book again. Think about it. I just told you to call up organizations after their fundraisers with other companies to have them book with you. Now, why did I tell you that? Because the other organization failed to renew their commitment. It happens all the time. For some reason, many reps think that they don't need to ask for the next event, that somehow it's automatically theirs. It isn't. Get a solid commitment from your organization for the next event. And here's the thing. Organizations always need money. Season after season, year after year. You've already done all the work and proven yourself. Your products are exceptional, and the participants and customers love them. You're a rock star when it comes to being there for your organization, following through on your commitments, returning calls, and getting product and commissions to the organization in a timely manner. You are awesome. So the very next logical thing to do is to schedule, at the conclusion of one fundraiser, the start of your next one, whether that's 6 months or 1 year from now. Imagine this for a moment. You have just completed a fundraiser which brings you $1,000 income. You've booked another with the same organization for next year at the same time. Now you can count on around $1,000 income next year too. Now don't stop at one. Go out and get more. Let's say you had just found a dozen local organizations to work with, one a month. That's $12,000 in residual income, year after year, without too much extra work. Are the pieces starting to come together? Is it starting to make sense why many direct sales reps are turning their focus towards fundraisers, sometimes over the home party model? I mean, it's great to have a home party hostess book a show with you year after year, but many home parties are more of a one and done type of event. Fundraisers, on the other hand, genuinely need to do events every few months or every year. Solve that need and you'll solve many needs of your own. Okay, let me real quick check in with y'all and see how we're doing. Are we learning some great fundraising tips here? If you have questions, please hold them until the end of the webinar and I'll go over them then. It's really hard for me to talk and answer questions at the same time. So please either type them in now or hold them off until the end and we'll get them all answered. Okay, so let's move on to tip number 4. Your number one goal is to get your product into the hands of a decision maker. This is critical. In fact, it's probably the most important fundraising tip I can give you, and the reason why most direct sales reps give up on fundraisers way too quick. You need to get your product into the hands of the person making the decision on what company to partner with for fundraisers. This is not the person who answers the phone when you call the school. Let me repeat that. This is not the person who answers the phone when you call the school. If you call up the school and say, "Hey, are you looking for a fundraising opportunity?" the secretary has probably been told that the school, that is the school at large, not the individual departments within the school, is set for fundraisers and does not wish to talk to solicitors. So she's going to tell you, "No, we aren't looking. We've got our fundraisers planned out through next year." So instead of mentioning fundraisers, ask her who's in charge of the cheerleading squad or the track and field team or whatever other activity you're targeting. Then once you have that representative on the phone, ask them who it is that chooses what company handles their fundraisers. And then when you've located that decision-making individual, you're going to want to take the time to meet with them in person and give them a full-sized product from your line that will be included in your fundraisers. This will give them the chance to consume your product and get a sense for the quality and value of it. You don't want to give them just a sample. That won't accurately convey the product completely. The decision maker wants to know if the product is worth the money her participants will be selling it for. So let her experience it for herself. But make triple sure this person is the one who makes the decisions. Whatever you do, don't pop into the school and bring your product to leave with the secretary. First, many schools are locked down and you simply won't have access. And second, chances are if you leave your product at the front office with no name on it to go to the decision maker, while it may be enjoyed by the front office staff, it probably won't help you land the deal. So here's the procedure. Step 1, call the school and ask who is in charge of cheerleading or track and field or whatever activity you're targeting. Step 2, call the person in charge of that activity and ask them who the fundraising decision maker is. Oftentimes, they're the one that is the decision maker, but it's not always the case. Step 3, get a full-size product into the hands of the fundraising decision maker. And then step 4, book the fundraiser. Don't stop until all of these steps are completed. Okay. So I promised you that I would tell you how you can quadruple or more your fundraising income, right? So you're probably wondering, what is that super simple solution? I mean, working with a dozen local organizations for a $12,000 residual income sounds pretty fantastic, right? But $12,000 is hardly enough money to quit your day job, let alone have your hubby quit his too. No, we need a solution that will take fundraisers from a seasonal side income to the kind of income that will get you out of the rat race forever, giving you the income you need, and more importantly, the time you so greatly want to be able to spend on the truly important things in your life. You, your family, your goals and dreams and plans and desires. And the solution to all of that is sitting right in front of you with your current direct sales business. Now, if you have questions about the fundraising tips, I'm happy to answer them at the end of the call. Write them down and please ask when we open the call up for questions. I got a lot of comments going on right now and I don't want to miss the questions when I start answering them. Okay, tip number 5. Fundraisers do not have to be done locally. Remember I told you these tips were super simple ways to grow your fundraising business, and this one is no exception. Once you have mastered fundraising in your local area, there is nothing stopping you from expanding that area. But before you think of world domination, it's really important that you take the time to establish the fundraising portion of your business locally. Find a niche group to work with, for example, cheerleaders, and target every cheerleading squad within driving distance to gain experience, confidence, and exposure. Often, direct sales representatives make the mistake in thinking that their fundraising opportunity is perfect for everyone. And honestly, that's probably pretty true. But as human beings, we cannot become experts in everything and everyone. So it makes more sense to focus on one group that we can meet the needs of, and then grow our business through that group. This way, you can learn the ins and outs of how fundraising will work for that particular niche. Learn what they will be using the funds for so that you can communicate your solution to the next group. Learn how many products on average each participant will be motivated to sell so that you can give the next group an idea of income expectations. And learn how your target participants use your product. Become an expert in them, and it will grow your business. And once you've done this legwork locally, you then have the ability to take your new knowledge and expand. You can expand across your region, your state, or even the whole country. Once you've made your calls to the long-distance fundraising decision maker, you can send a sample kit to them with a full-size product and your fundraising materials. Your interview can be done over the phone, and when it's time to order product, you can have them drop ship straight from your company to the organization, eliminating your need to deliver them yourself. You'll then book your next fundraiser right after the first one so that you can earn residual income from your long-distance fundraisers too. And since you've specialized in one particular niche, it'll be super simple to advertise online. There are a lot of consultants out there who advertise online that they offer fundraisers, and there's too many of them if you want to get found by the search engines. But if you specialized in cheerleading fundraisers, or debate team fundraisers, or track and field fundraisers, this limits the number of consultants out there that can be found. You could put together a simple Facebook page and have organizations coming to you. The sky truly is the limit. All of this is simple, yeah? That's because your direct sales business shouldn't be hard. Stop trying to sell ice to the Eskimos. Sell it to people dying of thirst in the desert. There is no reason to overcomplicate your business or your life. Adding fundraisers to your direct sales income really is just as simple as picking up a phone, making a few calls, sharing your product with a decision maker, and making some good money. Money for you and much needed funds for the organization. With the 5 tips I've given you today, you're now able to add fundraising income to your direct sales portfolio, adding new income to you and your organizations. And let me just say this. Every day I see those new to direct sales, and quite a few who have been involved with company after company for years and years, voice their struggles with learning how to do fundraisers. And most of the struggles revolve around finding organizations to work with, landing the deal, and making fundraisers a viable source of income. And the most common solution from others to these struggling would-be entrepreneurs? Ask your sponsor. Now, I think that sponsors and uplines in every company are extremely valuable, and some can be a powerhouse of information and experience, but all too often with fundraisers, that simply isn't the case. 20 years ago, if you joined a home party company, chances are it was because you met someone at a show you attended or at some sort of gathering. That person introduced you to your business, provided you with in-person training and resources, and they were just a phone call away for support. But since the internet, things are pretty different. Now the majority of direct sellers sign up with someone they made a connection with online, who is hundreds, even thousands of miles away, and they're not capable of visiting in person. There are no example parties or events to sit in on, no local training meetings, not too much in-person support at all. And their sponsor probably joined the same way, and they're experiencing the same frustrations. So my intent with this webinar is to help those in this industry who may not have proper access to local sponsors who are doing fundraisers, learn some critical tips and techniques that will have you booking more organizations and making more money. Now, there are probably some of you who are thinking, Raven, these tips sound great, and I can't wait to use them to book an organization. But my company doesn't provide any training or resources on fundraising. How do I get the order forms and the promotional materials I need? Anyone here feel like that? Type into the chat box, yes, me. So maybe you're working with a newer company, one that is head over heels in love with the idea of fundraisers, but their attitude is, have fun, we'll ship your orders. Meanwhile, you're on your own when it comes to what products to sell, how to get a commitment from organizations, and even what to use as an order form. Maybe your company is more established, but they never put together any materials on fundraising for their reps. I know the company that I am part of is like this. been around for more than 10 years, and the only way distributors can get access to a script to use to contact organizations is to email me. But don't let that stop you. I hope the information I've already provided to you today will help you kickstart your direct sales business by adding in fundraisers. If your company doesn't offer printed materials for fundraising, you can create your own. If you're not graphically inclined, you can hire a graphic designer to put together some forms for you. Just let her know exactly how you want them to look and go from there. Or you can use the forms and other resources I've already created. You know, I love training and putting together these webinars, and I know that this has made a huge difference in the lives of party plan consultants all over the world. I know this because of the awesome comments and messages I get. All the fundraising tips I have gone over are part of a larger business training module called How to Profit with Direct Sales Fundraisers. And for those who are ready to increase their income with direct sales fundraisers, you can take your training to the next level. I have spent months working around the clock, putting all of my fundraising strategies together in a comprehensive training program that takes consultants through the steps needed to make fundraisers a complete part of their direct sales experience. Now, if this is something you feel you might be interested in, I have a special discount offer for you tonight that will only be available for a limited time while this call is open. My goal is to help home party consultants to be able to live the life of their dreams. What would it mean to you if you could live life on your terms? If you could pay off your debt, be home with your children, send them to college, spend quality time with those you love, and to be able to afford life's adventures, both the ones that are planned and the ones that aren't. So imagine if you could generate the kind of income you needed to live life on your terms from your current business simply by adding in fundraisers. What if the business you've created could lead you to the perfect life you deserve, that your family deserves? So I'm here to ask you, are you ready to increase your income with direct sales fundraisers and take one more step towards living the life of your dreams? Whether your dream is to be able to financially afford staying home with your children, or bringing your spouse home as well, or paying off your debt, buying a home, traveling the world, it doesn't matter what your dream is. With your existing direct sales company, you have the ability to make that dream happen simply by adding in fundraisers. So, what's included in the How to Profit from Direct Sales Fundraising training module? In this jam-packed training, you'll be learning the 4 different types of fundraisers and how they fit into your business, 50 different organizations to approach in your area to do fundraisers with. School sports departments are just the tip of the iceberg. Remember, I want you to find an organization that speaks to you and become the perfect fundraising solution for them. I'm also going to walk you through the different decisions you're going to need to make to launch your fundraising career, and we'll talk about the supplies you're going to want to have handy. All of this training comes to you in video format, much the same as this webinar right now, to make it super simple to follow. We'll talk about what to say on the phone when you have a decision maker on the line, and I'll walk you through the fundraising meeting. Plus, I even go over how to add prizes for participants into your offerings. Yes, you will have access to those slick prize brochures and the company that sells them and all of the goodies. This is the company that plays with the big boys. In fact, you'll have all the training and resources to become one of the big players in fundraising yourself. In addition to your video training, your How to Profit with Direct Sales Fundraiser training module also contains a set of vital business building worksheets that you have the ability to customize and print. First, you get a copy of the tips page that you're using right now. And don't worry if you didn't get yours before the webinar. I'll be mailing you out one with the replay after our webinar is over. But the one included in the How to Profit with Direct Sales Fundraisers is filled out for you. You'll also get a worksheet with over 50 different organizations to contact in your local area. Use this worksheet to jumpstart your creativity when it comes to fundraisers. Plus, there is a warm market worksheet for you to fill out with the names of people you know in organizations that do fundraisers. Also included is an editable script for you to use when you have the fundraising decision maker on the phone. Just print it off and read it word for word. No hesitation or surprises. You'll know exactly what to say to seal the deal and get your interview. And now, here's where it really gets fun. Your How to Profit with Direct Sales Fundraisers training module contains the templates you need to secure and throw a fundraiser, including a 2-page organization commitment form that you use to sign up an organization. The second page is optional and includes a worksheet to use to pick the products that you will offer that particular organization, plus a letter to parents. This is the letter that gets put in your participant kits so that parents know what's going on with the fundraiser, as well as order forms for participants to use to get sales and a master order form to organize all the individual orders into one for each organization you work with. And to top it all off, there is a template for an after-event survey to give your organizations to see what you can do to improve their experience. You'll give them this form as you're booking your next event. These worksheets and templates are designed to set you up for fundraising success. I've taken all the guesswork out of the process. Just print the templates and order forms you need as you need them. And now, you've heard me refer to How to Profit with Direct Sales Fundraisers as a training module. And that's actually what it is. It's one module out of 12 in the Promoting Direct Sales Insiders Club, a club designed to give you training and resources for your direct sales business in bite-sized monthly chunks. Real quick, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the 5 amazing parts to this super exclusive club. Each month will start with some training on a particular marketing strategy. I call this the edge because it gives you an edge over your direct sales sisters, an edge of knowledge. You'll have a video to watch and some worksheets to help you out. I'll guide you through each module and help you get more efficient, organized, and successful. I don't have to tell you that all of this will make running your business a lot more fun and a lot more profitable too. But it's so much more than just training. Next, as any good coach would, I have your game plan for the month. I call this part of the Insiders Club the plan. This is brought to you in a calendar format where each day will focus on a different little business building task. Most will be pretty easy, take you 10-15 minutes tops. Others might take a little bit more work. The results, however, will be highly effective. And then there are the posts. Since we live in an internet age, we have to build a presence there as well. We want to connect with our followers, but we also have to be careful about not looking too eager. So I have plenty of fun and inspirational stuff for you to share on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram. Leverage those social medias to help you reach your potential customers and team members from across the U.S. Each day of the month, for all 12 modules, you'll have access to beautiful graphics and ready-made posts for you to use to reach and grow your following. You get all of that and what I consider one of the most important parts of any business, and that is support, the club part of the Insiders Club. Working on your own is great, and you still get plenty of adult interaction during your parties, but it's hard to find someone else who really gets this kind of biz. It isn't just about the money, and it isn't just about the parties either, even though they're a lot of fun. It's about sharing a line of products we believe in, and it's about improving the lives of families just like ours. And it's easy to lose track of that in the daily grind, isn't it? So that's why there's one more crucial component to the Insiders Club, the club itself. Think of it as a secret clubhouse where we get to hang out and talk shop. You, me, and a bunch of great women just like us get to hang out, chat, vent, and share what's working. This is a gold mine of information, and it's getting bigger and better by the day. Oh, and finally are the rewards. When you take action and you can earn fabulous monthly prizes, real hold them in your hand prizes. All you have to do is your homework. So not only will you get a fun package from me, you'll also watch your income skyrocket. And speaking of success, my goal is your success, and I can't sleep at night thinking that you'd invest in something you don't find life-altering. So here's the thing. When you invest in yourself and your business on promotingdirectsales.com, you do so completely risk-free. If you make a purchase from Promoting Direct Sales and have implemented the strategies and training provided for 30 days, if it doesn't work for you, I'll provide a free coaching session to work through it. And if after that coaching session it still doesn't work, I'll give you your money back. Every last cent. If you're not going to benefit from the information, I have no desire to take your money. I value you too much for that. Does that sound like a deal? Yeah? There's no risk to you, just valuable information and resources designed to help you take your business to the next level. Now, I know you're curious as to what that investment is, and I'll get to that in just a minute, but real quick, I want to ask you something serious. What does it cost you to take no action? Now, that might seem like a strange question, but I'm serious here. The truth is, missed opportunities do cost money. You've seen quotes on Facebook saying, "A year from now, you'll wish you had started today." And they are true. So what is the true cost of inaction? You're on this webinar today because you're looking for ways to grow your business with fundraisers. And I've shown you that they can be a wonderful source of residual income. Remember that example of the $1,000 income from one event year after year, month after month? If you applied the strategies I'm teaching you right now, you could book one of those events per month for this whole year. Just one. And that would add a $12,000 income stream to your life. $12,000! $1,000 a month to contribute to your family's budget. That's a good chunk of change. That could pay off a lot of debt or even go a long way towards a down payment on a home. All it takes from you is action, positive action. Taking these resources and creating the life you want to be living. And I know you can do it. Others have. It's your turn. Oh, and real quick, I do want to tell you about the special fast action bonus I've put together. This is the giveaway I mentioned earlier. Here's the thing. Life rewards those who act fast, and so do I. So everyone who purchases the How to Profit with Direct Sales Fundraisers training module here tonight during this call will receive a special bonus. 20 fundraiser postcard templates. Now, this is a set of postcards that are not available to be purchased on Promoting Direct Sales. The only way to get this set is by acting right now. These templates can be printed on your computer, or you can go on Vistaprint and print a whole stack of them. And that's actually what I recommend doing. There are postcards to get attention, to follow up after a meeting with the fundraising decision maker, and even postcards to send as a thank you card after the event. And there are different themes. There's cheerleading, sports, an all-around anything goes theme, and a special one that is another excellent untapped niche market that I go over in the How to Profit with Direct Sales Fundraisers training module. This set is truly fantastic, and I can't wait to give it to you. If you do decide to make an investment today in How to Profit with Direct Sales Fundraisers, these postcard templates are yours to use in your business. Okay, so let's talk about price. The complete How to Profit with Direct Sales Fundraisers with the video training plus the worksheet and template set and the bonus postcards has a value of $141, but I am offering it tonight as a one-time payment of $47. I want to make this as affordable as possible to as many direct sellers as I can. I want you to have the opportunity to change your business with fundraisers. Book just one fundraiser and you've more than made back that money. Probably tenfold. My goal is to make this affordable. But before I open up the sign-up page, I do want to tell you about a special I've put together. I want to give you the opportunity to get not just the How to Profit with Direct Sales Fundraisers training module, but all 12 training modules, plus the day-by-day task calendar, images and Facebook posts, forum access, and monthly rewards with the Promoting Direct Sales Insiders Club. In addition to your How to Profit with Direct Sales Fundraisers module, you'll also receive training and worksheets on errand marketing, hostess coaching, creating a follow-up system, building your online brand, sponsoring success, creating e-newsletters, prospecting Facebook, alternate parties, Facebook parties, mystery hostess parties, rock your retail sales, and a bonus of business card pizzazz. Plus, each and every module comes with a day-by-day task calendar, 25 graphic and Facebook posts to use on social media, that's every single module, prizes for building your business, and permanent access to our forum. The entire Promoting Direct Sales Insiders Club is currently offered on my site for a one-time price of $347. But I promised you an incredible discount for being on this call, so Right now, you can get the entire Promoting Direct Sales Insiders Club for a one-time purchase of just $197. And this includes the How to Profit with Direct Sales Fundraisers module and the bonus postcard set. Or you still do have the option of investing in How to Profit with Direct Sales Fundraisers on its own for just $47. The choice is yours. All you need to do right now to get started immediately is to click the button right below the screen. And you can do that right now. You could be starting your training before I'm done answering questions. Now, right now, I'm going to be going through some frequent questions. Meanwhile, to get started, just click the button below the webinar and it will take you to the page to fill out your name. I definitely need your address because I need to know where to send all the goodies. And we'll get you going right now. So the first question is if there is a replay of the webinar. Yes, you will be emailed a link to the replay of this webinar tomorrow so you can rewatch it and take more notes. The replay is only going to be available for a few days, so if you missed something, make sure you set aside time to catch up. If you do decide to go ahead and invest in the How to Profit with Direct Sales Fundraisers, I have actually put in a video in that training module that's the better half of this of this training this webinar. So go ahead and you can look at it at any time. Another frequent question is if the How to Profit with Direct Sales Fundraisers can be purchased alone or if it must be purchased as part of the Insiders Club. No, it can totally be purchased alone. This is a great option if you already have knowledge of most of the other topics in the Insiders Club. Let me go over those topics again. Errand marketing, which would be like when you're out and about in your daily activities, marketing your business. Hostess coaching, which this is the make it or break it party sales right here. You want the party to keep going, to even occur in the first place. You want the party to have great sales and great bookings. It's all about hostess coaching. Creating a follow-up system. Remember earlier when I told you if you learn only one thing from this webinar, it is that you need to follow up. Well, I go through showing you how to create a system to be able to help you out doing that. Building your online brand. This is going to go through setting up a blog and being able to market you so that you're able to market your business more effectively. Sponsoring success, I go through a opportunity interview and talk all about how to find people to sponsor and what to say to them in order to get them on your team. Creating e-newsletters, that is a second part to after you build a blog, you're going to want to have a list that you can mail your customers and your prospects, and we talk about how to do that. Prospecting Facebook. This goes into do's and don'ts on your Facebook groups and then talks about Facebook ads in detail. It's kind of an advanced module, but there is definitely information in there for you no matter what your path is, whether you decide that you would like to invest in marketing on Facebook or if you would like to just stick with groups. Alternate parties. These are all those extra parties that don't fit inside the home party box, so we've got, your launch party and your open houses and then some kind of off the wall different types of things. So it's very, very interesting and fun. It's an easy module and you'll love it. Facebook parties. I love my Facebook parties module. I spent a lot of time and energy on it because it rocks. It'll show you how to get the most out of your Facebook parties. Mystery hostess parties. There's even, not only do I tell you exactly how to throw the party, I also give you all the invitations that you need and postcards, again, just like the ones that are here. Well, actually not just like that. They're ones for the mystery hostess party. But you'll love it. It's really, really in-depth. And then the Rock Your Retail Sales one, that's all about doing events. And of course, we go over the fishbowl and how to make the most of your fishbowl. If you don't know what a fishbowl is, it's not something that a fish swims in. It is for raffles. And then there's a bonus module all about your business cards. So that's a really great one that you should take a look at before you get some business cards printed. And if you've already printed some, then you'll want to look at it for the next go around. So now I should say that the How to Profit with Direct Sales Fundraisers training module is the only one of the 12 that can be purchased by itself. So if there are a handful of training modules that you're interested in taking, you may want to consider the Insiders Club option. Another question I get is if the Facebook posts and the graphics and the task calendar are included with the standalone How to Profit with Direct Sales Fundraisers training module, or if they are only offered with the full Insiders Club. The task calendar does come with the standalone How to Profit with the Direct Sales Fundraisers training, but access to the club, the monthly rewards, and the social media posts and graphics, those are only available with the full Insiders Club.